want to say thank you to Brandy for waiting so patiently. You asked this question about a week ago, right when Poppy went into labor with our dear friend Penny. So it felt correct to answer this while Penny ate my pants. So with that being said, Brandy's question is about the moral, ethical issues that arise from someone who cares about animals but also consumes animal products or byproducts. And a couple things that I want to clarify for you first, Brandy, is that we do not do any of this for profit. We do this just for our family. So we're not an official farm. The milk is for us. We use it to make cheeses and butters and ice creams and things just for our family. I'm very grateful that we can do this just for our family. I know that's not an option for everyone. Brandy also asked a question about, getting Poppy pregnant and having her be in milk because of that pregnancy that we initiated puts her at risk for mastitis. And how do we feel about that? Well, part of this is I am just a steward. I am just a caregiver for Poppy. The creation of life is a beautiful and natural thing. We did do AI, and we could have just done it the old natural way with a bull, but we don't have the infrastructure or the ability to safely handle a bull. I would also not want to keep a bull by itself. You would want to have friends, and we just don't have the space for that. So doing AI was the safest way for us to bring on the miracle of life here at the farm. Now, part of the reason why we would like to have these mini cows on our farm is to provide us with nourishment and also joy and experience and all the life lessons that we learn from them. But part of it is because we don't like to use equipment on our farm unless it's really, really the only way to get things done. So instead of having big machinery and big mowers, we would rather have a couple more cows to trim that field up and do the miraculous change of grass into milk or something nutritionally valued. Penny, you cannot eat my phone. So we're opting to create life of more animals here as a way to maintain and regenerate our field. We could buy more cattle, but we do know that what we want and what is required for us to have a happy, healthy homestead. We do not use any sort of hormones to keep the cows in milk. I believe you're talking about RGBH or RGHB, whatever that is. We don't do that. We're not down with that. And that's not something we supported by purchasing any products that utilized hormones in animals before we had our own cows to provide the milk for us. But back to your bigger question of, you have felt called to have a life that is with animals but not consuming them or any byproduct of them, and how do I feel about that? Where do I what's it like for me on the other side of it? What I'd like to say is that I feel like all of our souls are here to learn different lessons in this episode of Earth School. And I do truly feel and respect that some souls are meant to not consume the products or byproducts of animals. That's fine with me. That makes sense with me that there's a lot of great lessons for your soul to learn with that dietary and lifestyle choice or restriction. With that being said, there's also a lot of souls that we can have completely different and just as important lessons by interacting with those livestock, either handling or the consumption of them or their byproducts, and that is a completely different set of lessons for those souls to learn. What I do think that all of our souls have the understanding of is that no matter how we interact with our animals, it should be with the utmost respect. On our homestead, we have a mantra of it is up to us to give these animals the very best day of their life, every single day, as long as they are in our care. All we're trying to do is give them the 100% best day possible, and through that, I feel that the exchange that we make through consuming their dairy, or if it's like we raise meat birds, broiler birds, we give them the best day of their life every day. We're focusing on fresh water. We're focusing on all organic supplementation, more than enough space and freedom for them to live life in a joyful, meaningful way. And that doesn't feel bad to me. It doesn't feel bad for me because I put in 110% to these animals every single day, and so does every other member of my family. And we have nothing but the utmost respect for these animals, and we are in service of them, and they provide something, whether it's honey from bees, whether it's milk, whether it's meat. They provide something for us in exchange to help us continue on regenerating this land and giving back to the earth. So I'm not okay with any sort of farming that takes more than it gives. That's with that's for animals, that's for veggies and fruits. I can't get down with the amount of bugs that are killed. If it's bugs, if it's spiders, if it's slugs, if it's cows, if it's chickens, I want to respect that life. And that's what's important to me. That's my lesson to learn. And at the end of the day, you and I and everyone else watching this video, we're all part of the little pieces and bits that go back into that big can of cosmic Play-Doh. So Brandy, I am happy and I support your soul's journey of living a life without consuming animal products, because within you is an aspect, a piece of me that is also going to learn that same lesson and get that information when we go back to the big can of cosmic Play-Doh in the sky. And you will get my experience as well when I return back to the big can of cosmic Play-Doh. There's just so many different ways for all of us to move through life in regards to how we interact with animals, plants, other humans, the weather, whatever it is. And it's just important at the end of the day, however you choose or feel called to live your life, interact with everything and anything around you with respect. That's it. So I feel comfortable doing what I do, consuming what I consume, living how I live, because I give everything the highest level of respect I possibly can.